What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Wrath1, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing the Toyota Celica. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the Toyota Celica. This particular model is the GT-S, and what's very interesting about the Celica is that it's discontinued. They don't make them anymore. They stopped in 2005 due to lack of sales and popularity, and it's getting harder and harder to find these things. This particular one is really good condition. Not a speck of rust on it that I can see, which is pretty rare on these. Common issue on these is that they do rust near the wheel wells in the frame, so that's something to look out for. This is the GT-S. They came with two models, the GT-S and the GT. The difference between the two is the GT-S is going to give you a little bit more power than the GT. It has more higher end torque, a little bit more horsepower, and it comes with a 6-speed versus a 5-speed transmission. 6-speed was the only available in the GT-S, which is cool. It's got a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder. Pretty cool little car though. Nice look. Got a little hood scoop going on. Nice alloy rims. Yeah, pretty nice. So yeah, let's go ahead and check it out a little bit further. Under the hood we have the 2ZZ engine, 1.8 liter 4-banger. Really nice and reliable engine. Like I was talking about before, it's got a little bit more higher end torque and lift than the 1ZZ does on the GT. I've worked on this engine myself, and I know a little bit about common issue points on it, but for the most part it's a very reliable engine and provides all the power that you need. We got a nice hood scoop going on. This Celica is not boosted or anything. Toyota just added that for the more sporty look. No turbo going on. They never had any kind of options for the turbo. Let's take a look at these rims. We've got a nice little center cap in the middle of them, which adds on to the nice sporty look. We got the disc brakes as well. That is nice to have on a car like this. So yeah, nice rims for sure. So towards the rear there's this huge panel of glass for the hatch. Nice wiper, which is very convenient. You don't see a lot of that going on with the coupes. A lot of coupes, they don't have anything like that. It's nice that Toyota gives you a wiper in the rear. And this thing has a huge trunk. So towards this there's a latch. You just hit this latch and this whole panel will open. You got this massive trunk back here. Look at all the space you got back here. It's crazy. And what is really nice too is you can also fold these seats down. Just hit this right here, push this down, and look at all the room that you've given yourself. That is really nice. Look at that. You could store so many groceries back here, wherever you want. Look at all that room. That's pretty sick. Really nice looking car, guys. I really do like these Celicas a lot. They're very good on gas, sporty and affordable. So let's go ahead and check out the interior now. Something pretty rare and special about this particular Celica is that it has the leather. You can see the leather stitching on the door panels as well as the seats. I don't see a lot of them having the leather. That is pretty rare, especially it being bucket seats. It's really nice. Not a very common thing on the Celica. The rear also has the leather seats too. So yeah, pretty clean, pretty sleek. On the door panel we have an adjustment for the side mirrors, a tweeter, and a big speaker. On the side right here we have an ability to disable and enable the windows, as well as increase or decrease the brightness of the dash. Onto the dash we have the very iconic orange dash that gets up to 160 miles per hour if you want to go that fast. Got that original Celica floor mat. Check that out. That's pretty cool. Towards the center of the dash, we got the hazards right there, a clock, a nice little storage compartment where you can put sunglasses or whatever you want. A radio, we got the climate controls right here, and cigarette lighter with a little storage unit. Here we got the shifter, the 6-speed I was talking about earlier, and a way to control the windows right there and lock and unlock your vehicle. 2 cup holders as well, and finally another storage compartment towards the rear. Got a little glove box right there as well. Close that up. And our 4 vents. Pretty cool interior. Interior is very sleek and clean. I like the design of it. Above, this one is equipped with the sunroof. Fully loaded. And you got a control right there to adjust it. And in terms of room, I'm about 6 foot and I'm sitting very comfortably in the front. The rear though, I would say, is pretty hard to sit in. There's not a whole lot of room for people in the back. It's more for non-humans and items to be stored. Yeah, sitting in the back is a little bit of a struggle. You got this little window and that's all you pretty much get back here. It's not the most comfortable feeling back here, but you do have a cup holder, which is nice, I guess. But yeah, the back is not very well for the tall folks like me. You can see I'm basically hitting my head on this window just by sitting, so it's not the most comfortable feeling back here, to be honest with you. Alright, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and start this thing up, take you on a little drive and tell you how I feel. Interior I like a lot. It's super sleek. I got nice vibes from it. It kind of gets super vibes from it just based off the steering wheel. But go ahead and put this in and show you guys how it's done. I like the dash also because it has this illuminated gauge right here, this digital gauge to show you the fuel level and the coolant, which is pretty cool, especially for this year. So you put the clutch in and start her up. Starting it up was fairly easy. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust, turn my heater on. As you can see, you have your defrost option and your AC down there too. Put this thing in the first gear and go. So I want you guys to tell me what's your favorite thing about this car in the comments right now, because I know that there's a lot of people out there who really enjoy the Celica, and I want to also hear what you guys think. Man, I really like the way that this thing handles. Driving this down the road, it feels so smooth. It handles really, really good. What I like about these smaller coupes is the fact that you feel like you're like in a little pod. There's not the most space in the interior, but when you're on the road, it's a severe advantage because you can really control everything about the car. You can hit those turns, you can switch those gears and not be worried about it, just because you really do own the road when you're in a car like this. You can really, really get a sense of performance and sportiness driving this thing. So what's cool with the VVT-Li engine part of the GT-S is that you get lift above 6,500 RPM, which provides you more power on the higher end. The GT did not have that. Part of the 1ZZ engine, they did not have that. This did. And that's what sets the 40 horsepower difference between the two models. So I'm going to demonstrate to you guys right now what that feels like and what that looks like. So I'm going to demonstrate how this works. When I get above 6,500, the lift should engage and you're going to hear a different sound from the engine and you're going to see the RPMs going up a little bit faster. So let's try it. So from prior experience, a big issue that I've noticed on these GT-S is that the timing covers will leak. You got to make sure that the timing covers have been replaced with the new gasket, because that's a common issue on this 2ZZ engine. I've done it personally on this particular car a couple months ago, and with some guidance on YouTube, anybody can do it themselves. But it's just one of those things that you have to be on the lookout if you're purchasing a GT-S, because those timing covers are common to leak, as well as the lift bolts. So if you're in the market for one of these and you found one that you like, just make sure that the lift bolts have been replaced and they're working properly, and that the timing cover is not leaking oil. Also, another problem that I've noticed with the GT is that they tend to burn oil and consume it. I didn't really see that issue with the GT-S's. I feel like the GT-S might be the more reliable engine S230. So in my opinion, I would prefer a GT-S over a GT just from prior things that I've seen. This particular GT-S, that's my buddy's, doesn't use up a drop of oil, so that is something to be on the lookout for if you are trying to figure out which one you'd rather have. Fuel economy on one of these is pretty good. You get about 31 miles per gallon on the highway and 23 in the city, which is pretty nice. And I do believe that it takes premium, so keep that in mind as well. Shifting this thing is pretty easy. I don't really struggle with it at all. I've got a lot of experience with manual transmissions, but I mean, this thing handles really good and it's pretty easy to drive. I mean, once I got into this thing for the first time, it was not a hard car for me to drive at all. I mean, you really get to feel like you own the road when you drive this thing, and it handles really, really nicely. So, I'm driving into the sunset right now. Something kind of funny yet a little bit annoying is when you put it in reverse, you hear a beeping sound. And I feel like I'm driving a dump truck or a bus or something when I hear that noise. I don't feel like I'm in a sports car. I feel like I should be driving a bulldozer or something. Alright, you guys, the verdict is in. I like this car. I like it a lot. And I'll tell you why I like it. I like it because for the price that you pay, which these cars are going for about $4,000 to $5,000 when they're really kept up, you get a lot of dependability and reliability. You're getting a Toyota, which has always been known for the reliability, in a sports coupe for less than $5,000, which is pretty unheard of, to be honest. If this is like a first car for you, or a car that you need to get to work in, and a daily driver, you get a lot of fun sportiness for the price that you pay, and I think that goes a long way. So you really do get your bang for your buck when you buy a car like this. You're not getting a Supra for $5,000, obviously, but for what you spend, you're getting a good amount of power and performance and reliability. So yeah, I like this car a lot, and if I was in the market for one, I would probably go for the GT-S over the GT, just because it's a little bit more reliable and it's got a little bit more power. They are harder to find. The GT-S is a harder find, but nonetheless, if it's been kept up and you like it and looks good, I'd go for it. So yeah, I recommend the GT-S and the Celica, and I hope this information helped you guys. Thank you for watching. I really hope that the information I provided in this video was helpful to some of you. I like this car behind me a lot. If you like the content, please consider leaving a thumbs up and subscribing. I do all kind of videos like this, so it really means a lot to see the support. So yeah, thank you guys again. I really appreciate it. Me and the Celica are out. Until next time, guys, I'll see ya.